What's up guys, Steve V here with another video. So today what I'm going to be doing is giving you guys an updated tour of my arcade. So the last time I did a video like this was in April, and since then I've sold a couple things, I've added a couple things. So I thought I would just do a quick updated tour to kind of show you guys where I'm at and what I have at the moment and what I kind of got rid of. Right now I have 10 arcade machines and 1 pinball, so I'm literally at my max for space. But I'm really happy with what I've been able to acquire over the last 3 years. We're going to take a look at each machine. I'll kind of say what each one kind of gives you, and little tidbits about each machine. And just give you guys a little tour of what I got here. So we'll start with this corner over here. So this is my 80s corner. It's my 4 favorite 80s arcade machines, which are Frogger, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and Burger Time. So we'll start with Frogger here. So Frogger, when Arcade1Up made this cabinet, it got a little bit of bad press, I guess you could say, because of the fact that the company that owns Frogger decided to kind of change the artwork a little bit on the cabinet. A lot of us that pick up these Arcade1Up cabinets, one of the things we love about Arcade1Up is they pay tribute to the way the cabinet used to look, and they keep the games the same. With Frogger, unfortunately, like I said, Konami decided to change the artwork a little bit. The original cab had a blue marquee. They changed it to gray. But there's enough nods to the way they did the cabinet that it still pays tribute to the old one a little bit. You know, the gray control deck, the tire marks there. The old cabinet used to have that. And then you can't really see the side, but they got a little bit of wood grain going on there, which the original cab had a wood grain look. Yeah, they definitely paid enough tributes to the original. It's got 3 games. It's got Frogger, Time Pilot 84. The Frogger game, unfortunately, they couldn't get the license to use the actual music. So the music's a little bit different, but it's not, to me, it's not extremely different. It sounds good enough that it doesn't ruin my experience, and the game plays exactly the same. So happy to own this cab, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Next to that, I got Pac-Man, which to me, that's my favorite arcade game. This one is actually called the Bandai Namco Legacy Edition cabinet. It's got 12 games. It's got Pac-Man, obviously. It's got Galaga, Galaxian, Dig Dug 2, Mappy, Rompers, and a couple other Pac-Man variants. It's a great looking cabinet. This one really pays tribute to the original. And yeah, it's my most played cab, and Pac-Man's the king. And if you have the king, you need the queen, which is Miss Pac-Man. So I literally put Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man at my number 1. I don't, even though they're 2 different games, I have them in the same category. I love Miss Pac-Man. It's my favorite looking arcade as far as art. I love the pink and the yellow and the blue. It's very 80s. It gives you that nostalgic vibe. Great game. This cabinet comes with 4 games. It has Miss Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaxian, and Super Pac-Man. You got an awesome looking riser there with Miss Pac-Man and the ghost underneath her, holding her up. Just a beautiful looking cabinet, and really happy to have this part of my collection. Then next to that, you got Burger Time. So Burger Time is a really fun 80s game. Basically, the object of the game is you got a bunch of pieces of burger, and you have to try to run up the stairs and run over each piece to kind of send them down to basically make a complete burger, but the whole time you're being chased by food. Really fun game. It's got 4 titles on this cabinet: Burger Time, Karate Champ, Caveman Ninja, and Bad Dudes. Really fun 80s game. It's got great artwork on the side and a really cool shape. You got Peter Pepper, who's the main character in the game, on the side here, and like I said, they got the shape of his hat and everything. Awesome cabinet, and yeah, it's part of my, like I said, this is my 80s section, so it's part of my 80s favorite game section. So then over here, I got my 90s games. So the first one in the row here is Marvel vs. Capcom. Great game. When I made my original video, I think I had already pre-ordered this, and I told you guys I was waiting for it. It's finally here. Came with a stool, which was pretty nice. It was my first Arcade1Up stool that I ever got. This cabinet has Wi-Fi, so if you know anybody else that has it, you're able to play against them, which is really fun. I've played against a couple people in the community, and I usually get my butt kicked, but still have a really good time playing it. This cabinet comes with 5 games. It comes with Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and Marvel vs. Capcom. I know the stool's kind of in the way, but yeah, really great cabinet, and definitely recommend it, especially for the Wi-Fi. That really makes a huge difference when playing that cabinet. And then right next to that, I got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet. This one brings all the nostalgia for me. I love both games that this cabinet has. It has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time. It's a 4-player cabinet. I got a stool so you can sit comfortably while you play. It's got great riser art that unfortunately the stool is kind of covering, but just a beautiful looking cabinet, and like I said, really hits that nostalgia mark for me because I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Then next to that, I got the Street Fighter 2 cabinet. This one's actually called the Capcom Legacy cabinet. It's got 12 games on it. It's got games like, it's got a bunch of Street Fighter 2 games. It's got Final Fight. It's got Ghouls and Ghosts. It's got Strider. It has Darkstalkers. It has a bunch of different games, all Capcom games. Really great cabinet. Beautiful art, very 90s, very 90s art. It's got like that 90s pattern that a lot of us actually used to wear on our clothes. Just an amazing cabinet, and happy I picked it up. And then next to that, I actually have the Midway Legacy cabinet, which they are using the Mortal Kombat 2 art. Beautiful cabinet. It's got the sticker coin door, as does the Midway one, or as does the Capcom one. Nice riser there. It's got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Then it's got games like Tubin that is showing right now. It's got Root Beer Tapper. It's got Rampage, Joust. It's got Gauntlet. So many great Midway games. I definitely knew I wanted to pick this up. It was one of those things where I was kind of hesitant at first because I heard some stuff about the cabinet that kind of scared me off for a little while, but I'm glad I finally let myself kind of pick it up because it really does offer a lot of great things, mostly the games, and I'm glad that I have a part of my collection. So then next to that, I got Golden Tee. So this is a really fun bar arcade. It's got a trackball, so you roll that trackball and just let that golf ball kind of go wherever it goes. Whenever I play this with my wife, she usually kicks my ass. So there's a couple games here that I usually get beat when I play, but still really fun to play. It's got 4 variants of Golden Tee. Definitely recommend this cab. Really fun. And then next to that, I got my 2 Countercades. I got Space Invaders, which comes with Space Invaders Color. And then I got Centipede that also comes with Missile Command. 2 great old school games that are just really fun to play. I didn't have room for a full 3/4 scale arcade of these cabinets, so that's where these Countercades kind of come in handy. I'm able to have these games without having the lack of space to really have the normal size cabinets. So and then I got my little Pac-Man light there that my buddy Josh picked up for me. And then next to that, I got Outrun. So one thing I knew I wanted to have was a driving cab, and Outrun was the first driving cab that Arcade1Up did. Comes with a little stool there that you can pull out so you can sit comfortably. It's got 5 games on it. It did come with 4, but there was an update that you could do to get an extra game. It's got a couple different variants of Outrun and some other games. Great cabinet, really fun to play, obviously because you're driving, right? You got the steering wheel, you got the shifter there, so definitely happy to have that part of my collection. And look forward to seeing what other driving cabs Arcade1Up does. And then for me, the creme de la creme is my virtual pinball that Arcade1Up made. This one's based off of Attack from Mars. It's got the Attack from Mars art. It's got 10 Williams games on there. Just a beautiful machine. Arcade1Up, to me, hit it out of the park. And just really happy to have this part of my collection. I knew I wanted to have a pinball, but I don't have thousands of dollars to pay for a real pinball. nor do I know how to fix them because they tend to break all the time. So virtual pinball is definitely the way to go for me, and I'm glad to own this. So yeah, so this is the updated tour of my arcade. I used to have a Miss Pac-Man cocktail table, but I ended up selling that. Now I got this small little pool table that is really fun to play. I used to have a 7-foot pool table here. Once I started collecting Arcade1Ups, I ran out of space, so I always told myself if I found a pool table that actually fit this space, I would pick it up. So that's what I did. So that's why I sold the cocktail table, but happy to have this pool table here. And yeah, this is my arcade, guys. Super lucky and super blessed to have this. Like I said, been collecting for 3 years, and this is 3 years of work here. So happy to have this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. And I'll see you guys on the next one. And yeah, I won't be adding any more arcades because, like I said, I'm out of space. But Arcade1Up does tend to re-release old cabs, and they'll re-release it with sometimes a different art, and they'll add more games to it. So I could see myself picking up some updated cabs down the line to basically replace cabs I already have. So, for example, they have a Miss Pac-Man that they're coming out with that has 12 games instead of the 4 that I have. So maybe I might update to that one. We'll see. But like I said, as far as adding more cabs to the space, this is what it is. So really happy with the 10 cabs that I have and the 1 pinball. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.